Let's make a satisfying grenade toss in Unreal Engine 5. In this tutorial, we're going to create a throwable grenade that attaches to the player's hand, launches towards the reticle with some spin, and detonates with an AoE explosion that ragdolls nearby enemies. Welcome to Tank Control Games, where we break down the secrets of game development. So for this tutorial, I'm working in Unreal 5.7.4, and to save a little setup time, I'm using the project from the last tutorial where we already created our directional and radial impulse logic for the pistol and ray gun. If you missed that video, I'll link it in the description below. Okay, so if I hit play in my project from last time, we set it up so that if we shoot with our pistol, there's a directional impulse applied to whatever limb is hit. That's all still working. And if we click play and shoot our ray gun, there's this kind of radial impulse that explodes from the center of the explosion, shooting the characters out. And that's all handled in our BP enemy. So last time we created this custom event, which just plays a sound, and then also adds this radial impulse with the radius and strength. And then we set up this ragdoll function. And if you want to follow the tutorial last time, you just need these two parts to do what we're going to do next. So you can take a look at what we set up here. I also did a little bit of pre-setup for this project just to make it go a little faster. So if we go to this grenade toss folder that I created, I added a couple sounds, but you can find anything online and use what you want. But I have a grenade explosion, pulling a pin, and also the toss sound effect. And then I have a grenade animation from Mixamo, which I'll link in the video description. And I modified this slightly, so if we take a look at our animation, it'll look a little wonky. And the reason it looks wonky is because I animated it to work for the first-person camera. So I'm kind of just stretching things as needed, but we won't actually see anything but the arms in the animation. And then I also added that to a montage. So the Anim montage right now just has two sound notifies, so one for pulling the pin and one for the toss. And then a little bit more setup that I did, I also modified the skeleton to have a new socket for the grenade. So if we look here, I added just this grenade socket. You can just right click on the hand, add socket, just call it grenade. Right click on the grenade socket itself, and you can do add preview asset and just add the grenade. And then you want to position the socket in the right spot. So you can actually do preview settings. And then instead of preview controller, you can do use specific animation and then just find the toss. And then you just want to position your grenade so that it looks like they're holding it. And then another thing I added in our first person character, I just set it up so right now when you press E, we play a sequence player, which just has some camera animation for the first person camera. And this setup is pretty much exactly what we did in the seamless gameplay to cinematic camera tutorial. And in that tutorial, basically what we do is we just create a level sequence player, we override the instance data, and then we set the transform origin actor. And what this does again is it basically says play this camera sequence centered around an anchor point. And the anchor point in this case is just the first person character. And I go into more detail on how you can create these types of camera sequences in my other tutorial, which I'll also link in the video description. But if we take a look at what this sequence is doing, essentially it's a very basic camera motion. And the way we author this is just bringing in our first person character and then lining up the camera essentially so that you start at the same position that the first person camera is and then end in that position. And then you can animate it however you want in between. And what that looks like if we click play in our scene, press E. Yep, very basic. So I think the first thing we're going to do is set up our projectile. So let's actually just right click in our folder here, do new blueprint class, and then do actor. And we'll just call this BP underscore grenade. And let's double click that open. So we're going to add a few things to this. Let's do components at the top and add capsule. And then we're also going to add a static mesh. And for the static mesh, we're just going to call it grenade. And then we're also going to add a projectile movement. So click on your grenade, and then for the static mesh, let's just find our SM grenade, and we'll just hook that up there. And then what we can do is probably scale our capsule a bit, just to kind of encompass the grenade a little better. And I think I'll even move it up a little bit. And this doesn't have to be perfect, so something like that. And then we're going to actually make the capsule the default scene root, so just drag that on top of default scene root. And then you will notice that it drags the capsule down. We could move the grenade down to kind of match where the capsule is, but we're going to keep this kind of slightly wonkier setup just for sake of ease in this tutorial. Ideally, actually, we would probably reset our pivot for the grenade and put it somewhere in the center so that we can kind of make all of this fit where it's supposed to. But I'm just going to keep it here for now. And then what we want to do is select our capsule, and we're just going to set it to have no collision by default. So set no collision. And then we also want to select our projectile movement, and we just want to search for auto. and then turn off auto activate, and then do compile. And then another thing you could set in here, if you actually want your grenade to bounce or to actually move in the world, you can set this to should bounce, and then you can adjust the bounciness and the friction. We're actually just going to destroy the grenade as soon as it hits anything, so we don't really care about that. But then we can go into our event graph, and then let's just right click and get event hit. So when this actor hits something, what we're going to do is just break the hit result. And actually before that, let's get a sequence node. And everything that we do off of the first sequence is going to be, our initial grenade logic. And then after it's done doing that, we're also just going to destroy the actor. So let's get destroy actor, just hook that up here, and it'll just destroy self. But before we destroy the actor, let's spawn an explosion at the location that we hit. So what we can do is spawn system at location. And then for the explosion effect, I'm actually just going to use one of the explosions from Epic's free Niagara sample projects. So I'm going to look for ns_explosion. And I think I'm just going to do the medium explosion. And then what we can do is get actor transform and just ourself, and then we'll break the transform and just use the location for the location of the explosion. And then auto destroy, auto activate's fine. And then we can play a sound at the location as well. So let's just do play sound at location. And I'm just going to use that grenade sound that I had, the A_grenade explosion. And again, you're going to have to find sounds to use just because this is a paid one, so I can't actually share it. And then for that location, we can either use the hit location or the actor's location. Either one actually is fine. I guess I'll just use the hit location for this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sphere overlap for actors. So we'll get sphere overlap actors, and then we're going to search for object types, and we'll do make array and just set this to pawn. And then we can filter by the actors that we want to check if we hit. So we're just going to check if we hit any enemies. So we'll do BP_enemy. And for this one, we'll just also use the actor's location. So just hook that up like that. And then we'll do for each loop. And while we loop through that array of hit actors, we're going to get cast to BP_enemy. And then with each cast, we're just going to call our radial impulse function that we have in our enemy that we set up in the last tutorial. And then for that location, we'll also do the hit location here. Okay, and then there's just a few more things we want to set up in here. We also want our grenade to spin once it's thrown. So the way we're going to do that, it's really simple. We're actually just going to create a custom event, and we'll call this start spin. And then let's make a variable for this as well. So we'll do b start spin, and then on this custom event, we'll just set this to be true. And then on tick is actually how we're going to rotate the grenade when it's thrown. So what we can do is take our event tick, just get our start spin, and then get a branch. And then we can do add actor local rotation. So when this is true and we want it to spin, we're just going to take delta seconds, and we're going to multiply it by something like 360. And then we can just apply that rotation to pitch and yaw. So we'll just do something like that. And that should be all of the logic we need in our grenade. Now we need to go to our first person character, and there's some stuff we'll have to set up here. So if you're using the template first person character from the arena shooter, since we're kind of fixing this to the camera and we don't care so much about the true first person here, I'm actually just going to hide the first person mesh during this interaction. So right now I have this hidden in game. If you're using the template, this will be not hidden right now. So you can set that, and then just going to keep showing our normal mesh. So let's create a function for tossing the grenade. So we can right click custom event, and we'll just call this toss grenade. And then what we want to do here, we want to do the same trace that we're actually doing for our pistol logic that we set up in the last video. So I'm just going to search for our weapon shooter base and open this up. And then this is all the stuff we set up last time. I just want trace logic that we did here. And we're actually just going to do the same for our first person character. And this will just kind of trace, to the center of the screen towards where the reticle is. And then we can break the hit result. And then we want to take the trace end, and what we can do is subtract it from our player location. So get self, get actor location, and then what we can do is normalize that value, and then just multiply it by something like 1,000. So you can right click on your multiply node, get to float, and just do times 1,000. And what this is basically just going to do is it's going to get that trace end location and the direction from the player, and we're basically going to just create a velocity so that the grenade gets tossed in that direction. But before we do that, we want to actually detach the grenade from the player. So something we want to do kind of right when we press E is we're going to spawn the actual grenade actor. So we'll do spawn actor from class, find our BP_grenade, and then where we want to spawn it initially is going to be in the player's hand, so we can get our mesh, get socket transform, and then we're going to get the grenade socket that we made, and I'll just double check that it was lowercase or uppercase. Yeah, we did an uppercase G, so just make sure that matches. And we'll do that before we play our level sequence. And actually, we probably can just test that that is working if we click play, press E. Oh, but we're not playing a montage, so actually we won't see it in the player's hand, but I can see that it did spawn the grenade, so that's good enough. But once we actually set up our montage, this will work a little bit better. So you know what, while we're here, we'll probably just do that as well. So when we press E, let's also play our montage. And we're going to play it on the normal mesh, not the first person mesh. And then we're just going to do our toss grenade. And then I tweaked the speed of this a little because I thought it was a little fast, so I just did the play rate to 0.7. And we'll hook that up first. Okay, then what we want to do is promote this to a variable so we have a reference to our grenade, and we'll just rename that to grenade ref. And then we want to attach this actor to our character, so we'll get attach actor to component, and then the target is the grenade, and the parent will be our mesh. And then for the socket, again, we're just going to use the grenade socket, and then we want to do snap to target for all of these. And then let's just hook up our camera sequence here as well. So now if we click play, our grenade's in our hand, and it obviously doesn't leave the hand, so we still have to detach it during the toss. So if we go back to our first person character, we have kind of all the functionality on our input done, and we just got to finish our toss. So we're doing our line trace, and then here we want to detach from the actor. So what we can do is get our grenade ref, and then do detach from actor. And then we want to switch this to keep world for each of these, and then just hook that up there. We'll move our other logic out of the way for now. Then we want to start our spin on the actor. So what we can do is off of our ref, just call that function that we made. So start spin. And then we want to enable the collision during the toss. So the way we can do that is off of our grenade ref, we can get our capsule for the actor. And then we can do set collision enabled, and we'll just make it query and physics. And then we want to get our projectile movement also from our ref. So let's search for projectile movement. And then we want to set the velocity using what we calculated up here. So we can just do set velocity, hook that up right at the end, and then just attach our vector here. And then the last thing we want to do is drag off projectile movement and just activate it because we set it to be inactive by default. So we want just the activate by itself. So activation, activate, just make sure you get that one. And then just do reset. So you can just hook that up right at the end there. And then it's not going to call this function because we're not doing anything that actually tells you to toss the grenade yet. And we want to do that as an Anim notify. So we can right click, do new blueprint class, search for Anim notify, just do an_toss grenade, and then double click it open, and then just really quick do receive notify, and then we'll do mesh component get owner, and do cast to first person character. And then we're just going to call our function for toss grenade to return value true, and then we just need to hook that up in our animation. So if we go back to our, we can do it probably on the notify actually. So here, or I mean on the montage rather. So here, probably some point around here is where you actually want to toss it. So we'll add notify, search for toss. Yeah, probably somewhere right there will be good. So I actually think we want to go into our capsule settings. Well, actually, first of all, make sure your grenade also has no collision. And then for the capsule, we'll just do a custom collision, and then we're gonna block everything except for the pawn to compile, and then let's try this again. So if we throw our grenade, perfect. So now it's exploding, but I did notice that our ragdoll's not working, so we're gonna look into why that's not triggering. And I figured out why. So when we set up our grenade and we did our sphere overlap reactors, we forgot to set a radius. So we probably just want to do something like 300, just to match our explosion radius, do compile, and if we click play now, there we go. Now it's triggering our explosion. Okay, and then I want to show off the spinning effect that we set up as well, because you can't really see it in full speed. It's kind of a little too fast. So I'm going to use the slow-mo that we set up in one of the previous videos. So if I press E to throw a grenade, then I'm going to trigger our slow-mo. And you can really see the grenade spinning as it gets tossed. And that actually looks awesome in slow-mo, so it's kind of a cool combo. But yeah, you could see the effect of it spinning, and this can be used for a ton of different things. It doesn't actually have to just be like a grenade. You could do things like throwing knives using that same technique. So that's where we're going to end the video. I hope this gave you some cool ideas for leveling up your projectiles. I also think this ended up being a pretty cool example of how combining some of the systems we set up in the previous tutorials can really create some unique gameplay interactions. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button, let me know what tutorials you want to see next, and join our Discord community. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.